making for dinner today isn't everyone's cup of tea because it's going to be liver with mashed potato and onion. What we need is potatoes, lamb's liver, onions, balsamic vinegar, a bit of olive oil, some butter and a little bit of milk for the mashed potato as well. We start off by peeling the potatoes. I'm going to chop the potato into smaller bits because then it will cook much quicker. Put quite a lot of salt on the potatoes. And chop the onions. I'm using shallots just because I've got them in the house. Use any kind of onion you like. Of course I'm crying now after peeling loads of onions. Now we pour the boiling water over the potatoes and bring it back to the boil. And they can cook like that for about 20 minutes. Once I finally stop crying, I'm going to fry the onions on a frying pan in some olive oil. Now you want to cover the frying pan and let the onions sweat on a low heat for a little bit. About 8 minutes later, and I've come to stir the onions and check up on everything. They're getting nice and crispy now. I'm going to add the salt and pepper and a little bit of mixed spice. It's not necessary to put the mixed spice in, but I do like the flavour it gives it. If you don't have it, you can use a little bit of nutmeg or a little bit of cinnamon, or just leave it out altogether. And we're going to turn the heat off now and transfer them to another dish and put them in a warm oven so they can keep warm while we do the potatoes and then the liver. Now, loads of people don't like liver, but it's really good for you and it's really, really cheap. And I think if you do it right, it can be enormously tasty, so it's worth giving it a go. Just cut it into strips about this big. When the potatoes are basically falling apart when you put a fork in, they're ready. So drain them and then put them back in here for mashing. Right, so all I've put in here is some butter, some salt and some milk. And we're going to mash them up. Once they're mashed up, add a little bit of pepper and keep mashing for a little bit longer. Consistency we want to get them to. I'm going to bring this frying pan back and put a little bit more olive oil on it. I left the oil to heat up for a couple of minutes. Now I can see it's really hot, so I'm putting the liver on. Spread it out. And that's going to take about 2 minutes each side. I'm going to flip them all over now. I'm going to stick it in with the onions in the warm oven. It's not really on anymore. It was on for about 10 minutes at about 100, and then I turned it off just to keep things warm. And we quickly do the sauce. It's basically going to be just a balsamic glaze. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of butter in the pan. All those flavours, and then I'm going to put some balsamic vinegar in. You can also use red wine vinegar for this. Ooh, vinegary. Just let that bubble away for a little while. There's onion, little vinegar in my eye. Oh. Okay, so so we can serve up the mash. And by the time you finish serving the mash, the balsamic glaze should be ready, so turn it off. Liver with onions and mashed potato and balsamic glaze.